Well. What have we here? A lawyer with a conscience?
May I help you?
You're in over your head, you know that?
I like to think that I'm doing quite well.
Is your client really worth all this?
Worth what? Clearing her name?
No. The collateral damage.
Collateral damage.
Uh-huh. Oh, your wife. Well, she's a nurse. You know, come to think of it, lots of accidents occur in hospitals these days.
Are you threatening me?
Oh, no. You don't work in a hospital, do you?
Listen, if you lay one finger on Philip, take it easy.
No, did you hear what she just said?
I did. I got this.
I'm nobody, but you can call me the boogeyman. And if you want to talk about collateral damage, let's see. Your husband, he has a dental appointment tomorrow.
How did you know that?
Yeah, and your mother, she resides at St. Joseph's Nursing Home.
How did you get that information?
And your daughter has a soccer game this Saturday. So listen, you want to talk about accidents? I can't begin to tell you how many.
Who are you?
Welcome back. I'm Vic Christian, your host, and we're over here talking about American Messiah X. You just saw a clip from the movie Prayer Life, produced by my man right here, Daryl Cox. Daryl, tell me a little bit about the movie.
Sure. It's a faith-based story about an executive of a major corporation who finds herself in an awkward situation as the other executives in the company decide to put the blame of their financial downfall on her.
Okay.
She's a woman who, as growing up and through college, had strong faith in God and prayed often and was really serious about her faith. But as she progressed up the corporate ladder, that became less of important.
I don't need it
I'm
anymore.
successful now.
I don't need it anymore.
So she finds herself in this situation and has to lean on her faith, which is
Jesus
kind of all
save
she has
me.
left.
Jesus is going to save me, which leads me right into the Good Doctor's book, the black clergy's misguided worship leadership. You can buy this book online, and he'll tell you exactly how you can buy it or whatever. Going through it, this was an excellent read. I didn't get to read all of it. But what I did, it was fascinating. If you would, Dr. Bell, tell me about the book.
Yes, it's entitled The Black Clergy's Misguided Worship Leadership. What I have done is to look at the effects that Christianity, or the Jesus worship, has on black people. You know, our sociologists have told us that black criminals come up and are nourished or nurtured by the white society and all the trimmings that go with white superiority syndromes and whatnot. However, there is one thing that our psychologists have not told us, and that is that our worship also has an effect on how we behave, how we perceive ourselves, and how we relate to others. And what I have said is that when black clergy teach us to worship Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, all your scholars will tell you, is a creation of the ancient Roman church, an idol, and he was portrayed by them as white. And when black people worship a white God, it makes them, in their own heart of hearts, less important, less beautiful, less noble than those who bear those same genes, that is, the whites that they live and work with. So Jesus' worship leads to what I have referred to in the book as a white superiority syndrome. We learn to believe that we are less than white people. It is a part of the culture.
So therefore,
in my book,
I'm
telling black clergy, let's stop teaching Jesus worship. Teach the worship of only God, and work with Jesus as a human being and a prophet. This way, black men can relate to a believable Jesus human. But when you're giving them a status of Jesus as an unbelievable, make-believe, extraterrestrial character, you have lost them.
Okay. Now, and believe it or not, I can agree with you on it, but I'm going to play devil's advocate because there are a lot of people, regardless of their ethnicity, who are faithful Christians and they say, that's a lie. You know, you can prove it 6 ways to Sunday. No pun intended. 6 ways to Sundays with all the facts and everything about, you know, the Council of Nicaea and why that was convened by Constantine. I myself consider myself an amateur theologian. I was a deacon in the church I attended several years ago, a deacon in training, and so I understand the whole thing. But the premise of your book, which I find most interesting, is that the Messiah complex is doing a double job on the psyche of African Americans, because one, we're waiting for someone to come along and save us, but the person we're waiting to come along and save us is in the image of someone who has oppressed us most of the time that we have been in this country.
I couldn't have said it better.
Right.
I couldn't have said it better.
Now you're a young black man.
I'm a young black man.
Are you waiting for Jesus to come get you?
Let me tell you something about this whole discussion. I haven't been to church in 15 to 20 years, I believe.
How old are you?
32.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
God is.
I know. I'm saying.
Not Jesus, but God.
Yeah. A lot of makeup. Anyway, I haven't been to church for a while, so I'm learning a lot about the subject. So I really haven't had a background. My whole problem was I didn't understand going to church. I didn't understand, you know, praying to somebody, just a picture of somebody. Because I've been to people's houses. You know, I've seen like what they pray.
Like Jesus sitting up there looking,
praying
like he's looking off and everything.
Well, he look,
Jesus, I got too much light in your hair.
Martin and Malcolm.
Yeah, I got you.
good.
Martin and Malcolm. Yeah,
He looks good. He's groomed. But I don't understand it.
Your parents, I'm sure your mom is a devout Christian. I know. I mean,
To be honest, my parents only forced me to church when I was younger. As I got
forced you,
older.
okay.
Exactly. Exactly what it is.
You gonna get up. You gonna get up.
You can stop going when you get older.
They wanted me to have a spiritual background. They wanted me to be introduced into the, you know, something that could give me a foundation in life.
And I absolutely agree with that. I think that everybody has to get that, especially at the youngest age. You have to have something
type of
to believe that you
right.
came from something greater than yourself.
Right.
Something
Right.
greater than yourself.
And that's
But
what they
when that
instilled in me.
visual comes in as someone who has told you that you're nothing,
Right.
that becomes
That's the contradiction.
so
That's the
cancerous.
contradiction.
So cancerous. And that, you know, and let me just say this to the Christians.
I'm sorry. The onus is on us as consumers of organized religion to study many things to draw conclusions of on our own. But one, if we would just take the time to even read the Christian Bible, we see that depiction is an artist's rendition.
Daryl, but that is the problem.
No meaning.
But that is the problem with the Messiah complex. People are lazy, thinking someone's going to come along and do the work they have to do. That is the very strength of the Messiah complex. I'm going to wait because somebody else is going to take care of it. That's the whole premise of a Messiah complex. I can't do this. We can't fix it ourselves. We don't know how to fix it. So therefore, someone else has
I
to
like to read, though.
Yeah, but
do I need to start with the NIV, then work my way to
Right, you know what I'm saying? Do I get the remix from Snoop Dogg? You know,
I mean, what's the difference between the women's Bible and the men's Bible?
Yeah. In the Bazizzle, God said.
Man Bible's out now.
Yeah, what you want to
Snoop
keep in
Dogg.
mind, one thing that you may think of the Messiah complex as one thing, but I am referring to the inability of black people to lose the psychological chains that are binding them, that are keeping them from being their best, from keeping them to range their, you might say, vision
of who they can be.
Who they can be.
I think we're at an inflection point with that, though. I think that the election of Barack Obama isn't what started it. I think it was a sign that we were heading towards it.
Right.
That we're at an inflection point where we start to see, you know, we're going to have to answer our own questions. And I've said this before. I think black people are in two groups. One is progressing, one is regressing. And depending on which group you consider yourself in, progressing is always raising your consciousness. We're going to continue with this for the break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more POV with Vic Christian. Y'all not going to want to miss this.